Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of F1 23 Driver Career Mode here on the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. Hope you had a great Hungarian Grand Prix weekend. We are here back for the penultimate race of Season 1, and it's the Las Vegas Grand Prix. It's going to be an interesting one. We, however, have a big announcement coming into this episode regarding the Aston Martin racing team and my future for Season 2. Let's check it out.
We at Aston Martin are proud to announce that Gary Owen will be joining our team alongside Fernando Alonso starting next season. Gary will be a key to our future success. It wasn't easy letting my son Lance go, but Formula One is a business, and we made a smart decision to bring on Gary. He will be on loan from Red Bull.
So, there you hear the news. It is official. We are going to Aston Martin. Lance Stroll has been sacked by his own father. That's a surprise. Well, no, it's not. When you look at the results and you look at Lawrence Stroll, he's a businessman at the end of the day. So it's not really surprising to see Stroll got the sack. We will be alongside Fernando Alonso starting next season following the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So here we are, though, focusing in on practice. I would have a quick chat with media coming up after practice that we'll check out as well. There is going to be, through the grid, is going to actually be a quick interview with Christian Horner, actually, today's episode. So here in Las Vegas, a new track to myself, never made any laps here, had no idea what I was doing, and I can quickly tell you now that I've finished recording this whole episode, I think I found a new track that I hate the most. Honestly, I don't think I've ever driven a racetrack in my life that I've hated more. I cannot stand this racetrack. The layout looks so simple, but it's so bad. I do not like to complain, but the track sucks. It's quite simple as that. Now let me know if you guys enjoy the track. I myself absolutely despise it here. So we're going to jump through, though, into qualifying Saturday evening as we get ready to roll.
Gary, was this a hard decision to move to Aston?
Not at all, Natalie. Honestly, I think I'm ready to move up. I think I've proven that I can. My first season, I've outperformed my team all year long, and there's no space at Red Bull, so it makes sense. You heard my very brief conversation right there with Natalie Pinkham before qualifying got underway. So in the car, now in Q1, I honestly expected to qualify last for this one. It's similar to Qatar, where it's going to take me well into the Grand Prix to kind of get up to speed with this circuit. But with the circuit that I really dislike compared to Qatar, which I really enjoy, I was expecting it to really take me a bit longer. So here we are. Late in Q1, I was 20th. I went out behind Max Verstappen to try and have a bit of a car to follow, a guide basically around this circuit, and it would help factually. You can see the times increase. We gained about 0.4 of a second. Really abusing track limits there, but they'd let you get away with it. But yeah, coming right through to the end of this lap, we only find about half a second improvement, 0.6 of a second. So I was expecting to still be last, and well, sure enough, we're gonna cross the line, and it's disappointing. Dead last here in qualifying, but honestly, I think we got a decent shot to run well in the Grand Prix because I'll have more cars to follow and be able to kind of understand the circuit and the flow and the rhythm and etc. All those kind of things going throughout the race. So I'm not too concerned. And I'm hearing we might be seeing a lot of grid penalties coming in the Grand Prix. So it'll be maybe an almost top 10 starting position for us. Let's find out and head to the grid.
Welcome along to Las Vegas. Saturday night's all right for driving. Well, it is here tonight as F1 takes over the entire city and the Formula One circus comes to town. 17 corners, 3 straights, 2 DRS zones, and the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas as we race around the 3.8 miles of Sin City. The strip has been taken over to become a straight tonight, commanding top speeds of around 212 miles an hour. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Perez, Russell, Ocon, Fernando Alonso, Oscar Piastri, Sainz, Gasly, Sargent, Norris, Golden Boy, Magnussen, Verstappen, Stroll, Bottas, Albon, Joe, Tsunoda, and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. Anthony Davidson, a very warm welcome to you as you join me in the commentary box for today's event.
And they can do it for sure, as long as they don't dwell too much on the position. At the end of the day, there's only one way to go racing, and that's to give it everything you've got. Either your best is good enough to stay in the hunt, or it's not. There's no point giving any less than 100%.
All right, we're ready to roll here now with this AlphaTauri here under the lights in Las Vegas. We're going to be doing mediums to hards, which basically everyone is doing except for like 2 drivers, including my teammate of Yuki Tsunoda. Let's get ready to roll in Vegas.
Here we go then, the formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. The question I'm asking is which teams have got it right, which ones have got it horribly wrong?
All right, lad, get after it on the start and just learn what you can here.
Yes, sir. Just want to say thank you to the team, for bringing me on this year. It's been awesome. We got 2 more races together still, but thank you once again. A really interesting line the AI are taking there to grid up. Of course, you see the back half of the grid basically grids up on a curve, but you saw all the grid penalties, of course, moving us way up the grid. So now we're into the mix. Fresh off the news that we're going to Aston Martin. Next season, Stroll out. Where will he end up? We'll have to wait and see. Will he still be on the grid? We don't know, but it's lights out. We know that, and we're underway as Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton lead the way down towards turn 1. Leclerc goes defensive, but it's not enough. Hamilton alongside into the first corner in the background, just behind them on row 2. It's Russell as well as Sergio Perez side by side. Of course, the now 3-time world champion Max Verstappen, one of the drivers hit with a grid penalty. Of course, many drivers, over half the grid, got hit with a grid penalty here tonight in Las Vegas due to part changes here. As we head down through these first few corners, I myself am lunging one up the inside of Lando Norris and his good friend of Max Verstappen. It looks like none of them are going to be in position to get any podium trophies to break here tonight as we continue on. You see Logan Sargent now pressuring the Spaniard of Carlos Sainz. Ferrari has been so strong in these recent episodes, winning with the last 3. Sainz and Leclerc both picking up victories, which has been, tremendous to see for those drivers here. Now, as we continue on, P11 is where we find ourselves at the end of about half a lap here in now 25 laps in this race. What a beautiful sight. I might not like this track. I think it sucks the layout, but it's such a beautiful view you have, especially going down this really long straightaway where we now see Lewis Hamilton attacking Charles Leclerc. Now, basically, all Grand Prix long, you're going to see back and forth for the lead between Leclerc or Hamilton, maybe Perez as well. So we're not going to focus too much on that battle for the lead here now, as it's just going to continue to shuffle. Verstappen outbreaks me there at the end of the long straightaway. Your top revs like for half of that straightaway, and that's like another 10 seconds now, as we're now under pressure from the Haas of Kevin Magnussen here now, as we're almost 3 wide in the middle through the final little curve right there. Contact on the back of Verstappen's wing. Thankfully, we don't get damaged, but we got out of control. We saved it, but we dropped down to 14th place. Verstappen and Magnussen, they would continue to scrap it out as Norris was driving away. I'm right in on the back of this battle now, going to the right side of Verstappen. A poor exit there. Now, once again, heading down this long straightaway, swinging to the left, back to the front of this little pack of cars. Now, you can see, here comes Lance Stroll. He's going 3 wide around the outside. They would continue closing in on me as we go down into the braking zone. We get dumped, and it's Lance Stroll who's turned us around. Zhou Guanyu sent it up the inside as well, but Stroll has dumped us here into the braking zone. A very brief look at it. Yep, he hit us in the left rear and just did not hesitate and turned us right around. If that's who I think it was, I know exactly why I did that crap. In the weekend where it's announced that Lance Stroll is fired by his dad and I'm replacing him, he dumps us. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. As that was all happening, this is the same lap, but the straightaway before this actually happened, and you can see they were 3 wide for the lead. Obviously, the damage is done for myself. We're way back. We got some ground to make up now. But look at this battle that was happening. Alpine, Esteban Ocon in the mix here in 5th place. He's going for more. Leclerc's gone from 1st to potentially 5th, but no, the Alpine's not going to be able to make it happen. Ocon's going to back out of it, but he's going to potentially get George Russell there, but some crazy scraps here. I myself, though, I was in a land of my own after getting spun round. So I was not going to write off a potential of a safety car. I was already thinking about changing my strategy. So I'm probably going to pit a lap or two after Yuki Tsunoda, who's going to pit quite a bit early because he's on the soft tire. You can see I'm still struggling with this circuit. They're running right into the barrier right there. But I do have a little bit of wing damage after getting dumped by Stroll. He hit me again on the second go around there, and that damaged my left side of the front wing. So it's not to a point where it's destroyed, but if we get like a safety car, I'll definitely come in to fix it. Tsunoda pits. We were closing still on the cars in front of us, so we have pace. That's the one positive takeaway here early on. So lap 8, at the conclusion of that, we're going to come into the pits for the first time. I have no idea how to pit here, and you see me hard on the brakes, nearly losing the rear end right there, but fortunately we were able to get in to the pit speed as well as not, go around there. Zhou Guanyu into the pits as well, just in front of us. He's on another set of softs, so he's doing a 2-stop race. I don't think that's going to work out very well. We go onto the hards. Tsunoda, he's on the mediums now. He's already well in front of me. He's like 7 seconds in front of us here, so a huge gains on just a lap or two, of course, running on fresher tires. So I was excited to potentially be able to close the gap to those cars we were behind after getting spun around. This is lap 13, and Hamilton's in from the lead. Leclerc, Perez has stayed out, so he'll be coming in at the end of this lap, and I don't think it's going to benefit him very well, to be honest here. Now, as we're going to come through, though, to complete lap 12, hitting lap 13, let's see who we come out around. It looks like we're going to get out in front of Valtteri Bottas, but Albon and Magnussen, they are still about 2 to 2.5 seconds ahead of us. Yellow flag here now at the end of the straightaway, actually, and it's my teammate of Yuki Tsunoda who's gone round, and he's been stopped long enough that the safety car will be deployed. So my teammate, thank you Yuki, just saved me with this spin right here. He's gone round, and yeah, even with simulation damage on, I swear it's still broken, because that would probably be an F122 or race retirement. I come in under safety car for mediums and a wing replacement. Tsunoda's going to follow us in now as we'll go through a very brief through the grid.
We've got Christian Horner joining us here in Las Vegas. Christian, why did you loan Owen to Aston Martin?
It was an easy decision. He has loads of speed, and we have no room next year at Red Bull. It just made sense.
So could we see him back in the Red Bull family sometime?
I hope so. His Red Bull contract ends after 2024, so we'll see what happens then, guys.
All right, thanks, Christian. It's time to get back going here in Vegas.
A really brief through the gridder because basically you can see we usually do about 10 laps to go, and we had the safety car right in that area, so that's why we kind of did it in a different way. But we're nonetheless back on the way, and immediately getting the elbows up right there on Zhou Guanyu. We go around him, and up into P18 we go. So we have mediums, while everybody in front of us is on hards. So we have an opportunity here to gain a bunch of track position in these opening laps of this restart. Probably about lap 20, I would say, is where we'll start to see maybe a change where the hards kind of outpace me. So I'm trying to put these next 5 laps to very good use, and I'm all over the back of Valtteri Bottas right there, in the back of him actually. A little bit of contact, but we go up the inside here, down into turn 1, wheel to wheel, and he's on those hards, just not going to be able to put the power down quite like I am. Up at a P17 we go. Next up, Nico Hülkenberg here, his penultimate race now, of course, announced last episode, going into the Brazilian Grand Prix. He will be retiring from Formula 1. Again, down the long back straightaway. Look at the battles here. Now you got both of the Williams of Albon as well as Sargent, the 2 Haas drivers of Magnussen, Hülkenberg, and now myself. Tsunoda's trying to insert himself into the conversation, but he's in a scrap with Zhou. You saw a bit of a bad exit from Magnussen that allows me to get around him very quickly, going back in behind Hülkenberg, diving back out up the inside, and there we go into P15. Next up, American fellow rookie of Logan Sargent here, who's now right there, nearly made a move up the inside of Albon. He thought better of it, and well, that opened the door for me. So I go up the inside, we take the position. Up into P14 we go, and a track that I'm not enjoying at all has turned into a pretty decent comeback drive here after the spin with contact with Lance Stroll, who's only a couple positions ahead of us here. It would feel pretty good to be able to beat him, of course, in the weekend that we announced that we're replacing him, and he wrecked me. So here we are down the long back straightaway, and we're going to breeze right on past Albon, and now up to P13, which no matter what, I think if we finish 13th, that's still a heck of a recovery drive, considering what we were faced with throughout this Grand Prix in the earlier moments. So Mark tells me something about a strategy change, and don't worry about it. I'm not quite sure what that was about. But Hamilton now loses the lead to Charles Leclerc down that long back straightaway, and now Perez as well has a potential opportunity to do that right there. Makes the move up the inside of the Mercedes, goes up in a second place, right up to the back of Leclerc. He shows the nose, but Leclerc shuts the door. Leclerc trying to give Ferrari, what, 4 wins, I think it would be, in a row. They are going into Season 2 2024 with a crazy amount of momentum. I cannot wait to see if they can, continue that. Here's Stroll now fighting with Fernando Alonso. I don't expect this to be a very, respectful fight. Of course, Stroll knowing he's sacked at the end of the season, and he did not make it easy on Alonso right there, but made it easy on myself to pass my future teammate, the 2-time world champion. Of course, we're going to go from being teammates with Yuki Tsunoda with still not a lot of experience in Formula 1 to now a 2-time world champion. And now up the inside, a fellow Canadian here of Lance Stroll. We had the run-in with him on just the second lap of the Grand Prix, and now we have a bit of a slide right there, and Stroll is going to shut the door. If he would have raced like this earlier in the season, maybe he could have kept his ride as we continue on. And you can see up ahead Verstappen a little bit wide as we get down towards this long straightaway again, and now there's like 6 cars under a blanket here now as Stroll is going to get the elbows out. He's got that DRS open just like everybody but Verstappen does. Sainz, Norris, Stroll, we're closing on all of them. Norris makes me stomp on the brake pedal there as I nearly ran into the back of him. Of course, he was trying to go around Verstappen. I'm going to stay right here. I did not feel safe or comfortable making a 3-wide move as I lock up a little bit here. Now Stroll is still continuing to fight. He is not able to get past Verstappen, and now Alonso might get past me in the background. We have an accident. It's our teammate again of Yuki Tsunoda, who's facing the wrong direction the second time tonight. Under the lights, he's gone round. Here's a very quick look, and wow, he just simply dropped the ball right there. We continue on though. No safety car, no virtual safety car. We're wheel to wheel again with Alonso down into turn 1 here. Now the Spaniard's gonna have to give it up on the exit right here. Up into 12th place we go once again now as we try to set our sights on Stroll, but unfortunately the mediums started to fall off and I just didn't have enough pace. Yellow again as we're closing in towards the end of lap 22, and this time it was Hulkenberg. He did the same thing as Tsunoda, just 1 lap later. Around he goes. He would actually get a penalty for this. He backs up into Zhou Guan Yu, so that is going to be a 5-second time penalty to Nico Hulkenberg, but you can see the time that I was losing now. The medium starting to wear, and Alonso's going to go by, but hopefully we can just stay within the DRS of Fernando and let him bring us home in P13, maybe even fight him for a P12. 2 laps to go at this point. Stroll into the top 10. He got around Lando Norris, and everybody was driving away from me, unfortunately, at this point. Yellow flag as we were approaching just the final lap of this Grand Prix. It was Zhou Guan Yu actually having a mechanical failure right towards the end here. He would stroll all the way down the straightaway, and he wouldn't be out of the race until we were well underway on the final lap of this Grand Prix here in Vegas. A little bit too far back right now to be able to have an opportunity to make a move on that long straightaway, so it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. But the battle for the lead is on. Perez, unfortunately, is in the worst position possible. You do not want to be leading here on the final lap, and that proves it because Leclerc passes him. Hamilton closing in quickly, but I don't think it's going to be quick enough. No, it will not. But Leclerc takes the lead on the final lap. That's going to make it, I believe, a 4th consecutive win for Ferrari. As I mentioned, they continue to bring that momentum at the end of the season, leading into season 2. Obviously too little too late for them here at the end of season 1. We're going to hang on just barely over Alex Albon for 13th place, which I'll take it. That's a heck of a comeback drive considering what happened in qualifying and the things in the opening laps as well. Driver of the day, Max Verstappen, as we're going to go check out the podium celebrations here from Las Vegas Grand Prix.
So another excellent win from Ferrari. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
I honestly don't know if Vegas is going to be on the calendar for next season in this career mode. You guys let me know down below because obviously we have 3 tracks that we can put in, which will be China, Portugal, and France. Those are all options to put in on the calendar somewhere, and I would like to bring one of them in, and I'm thinking replacing Vegas. I know you can already do the custom calendar mod, but I don't want to really introduce that until season 3 likely. Just minor changes with those those other additional tracks. So, and then maybe Season 3 will bring in the calendar mod where you can just edit and go crazy and throw the races all over the place, and we'll kind of make it work. So that'll be later down the line, though. However, you can see Alpine, a great day. The two French drivers, Ocon and Gasly, 4th and 5th. Alpine, who started the season out promising, fell off very hard in the mid-season, and now they're ending the season on a high, still with one Grand Prix left in the season. One more race with AlphaTauri, so we think, as pay a lot of attention to the very end of this episode when we're flying and taking off, because there's something I've added in there. 12th in the standings there. We're not going to catch Gasly. Piastri likely won't catch us, so we should be okay for Rookie of the Year, but we'll find out, of course, at the end of Abu Dhabi in the next episode. That's going to wrap it up for me. I will see you guys then, of course, there for that finale of Season 1, which I'm so excited for. Abu Dhabi, not a track I'm great at, but it's a track I enjoy driving in the new game. So I'll see you guys then. Take care. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Yo, what's up?
Hey mate, we're not going to Dubai. All drivers are told to fly back to London immediately.
Okay, what's going on?
There's big disagreements about the calendar for next year. I'm hearing that might have been our last race with AlphaTauri.
All right, well, I'll see you there. We'll see what happens.